Hello guys, welcome back to the SpookyWoe channel. I've got to say a few words of wisdom before we start, very important. Open your ears, gang. There's probably going to be quite a bit of the video where it just seems unserious or satire. That is not the intention, that is literally just how I am as a person. Can't really hide it. There's quite a few issues with BGSI right now. That is no secret, I think everybody knows that at this point. Yeah, if you've noticed that, you're definitely not alone. Definitely not. On a more serious note, I'm not making this video to spread any hate. I'm not trying to gain views from the topic, and I'm not trying to make anything worse. I'm not that type of guy. Come on, guys. The most important thing I can say is I do not support any hate regarding this situation, but constructive criticism is what we need right now, pretty much. Any criticism that has both the interest of the players and the developers, that's good. That is Gucci. I also want to kind of go over how much work this video has been. I've been working with loads and loads of people, using polls on Discord, compiling major issues with the game, brainstorming how to make them better. It's just been like a lot of work, and hopefully it's heard. Nert, my brother, we have done this for you, pal. As I mentioned before, hundreds of people have contributed to this project in several different ways. Everyone who helped is going to be on screen now, and I just want to say thank you so much, guys. Really good work. So yeah, Nert, please use this to your advantage, bro. I'm going to kind of have like a little man-to-man talk with Nert right now. You've definitely received a lot of criticism, and it might seem that it came from a place of hate. I'm going to use Cruz as an example. You're being called out, buddy. No, I'm joking. I'm definitely not saying it's just him, but the thumbnails of his videos on similar topics seem to come across as, like, negative or hateful, but I can pretty much guarantee that that's not even the case. I assume this is kind of like why you ignore criticism most of the time. We can definitely tell that you're trying your best, mate. Simple as. I can definitely tell anyway. But then again, I'm a nerd, so... whoopsie. But yeah, these videos made by Cruz and others, they have some really useful information. I can almost guarantee that it comes from a place of passion and there's no hate or anger about it. It's just pure passion. Like making out with bubblegum simulator. So basically what I'm trying to say is these videos do actually have some really valid points and useful information. I can very confidently say that the creators made these videos because they have an actual, like, connection with the fan base, the developers, the players. So yeah, with all that being said, let's just dive into this absolutely amazing video. So the first thing I want to go over with the hatch and rarity issue is Tier 3 legendaries, secret pets, and infinity pets. Pretty much they just need to be a lot rarer, really. During events, Tier 3 legendaries should be making up most of your team. You should not be hatching full teams of secret pets during events. It just doesn't really make sense. It kind of defeats the point of a secret pet being like secret or lucrative or rare or anything like that. Secret pet hatches is definitely something that shouldn't happen every day. Like maybe 1 to 3 times a week. What I'm trying to say is secret pet hatches shouldn't really happen often. It kind of takes away excitement, like shock factor of when you actually hatch it, all of that stuff. It just kind of makes them not very special anymore. There's literally some secret pets with almost 10 million existing. That is just wild. That is probably enough to fill everybody's inventory with like 50 or something. That's not secret. In all fairness, that kind of ties into admin abuse. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, yeah, infinity shouldn't be much rarer, but I think they do need like a little increase in the hatch odds. I don't think there should be like several hundreds being hatched. It should be like maybe 150 absolute tops, really. Infinity pets are definitely a lot more like lucrative. You don't want to be going into Trading Plaza and seeing like 8 of them. Kind of defeats the point, really. But don't worry, nerd, I have a solution to this. I think the best course of action for this would be overpopulated pets being downgraded to the rarity below. So for example, a secret pet with more than 10 or 15,000 existence, say, they should be downgraded to a tier 3. I'm going to put some polls on screen when relevant, just to show that it's not just me who thinks this way, pretty much, or has this opinion. With secret pets and definitely infinity pets, you don't want most players to have that specific pet in their inventory. It just kind of ruins the whole idea, as I've said before. You definitely want these rarities to be special, and I've got about maybe 2,000 secrets in my inventory. So the next hatch and rarity issue is the implementation of unnecessary boosts, events, and buffs. I completely understand that you want to reward your fan base, like it's really understandable. However, it's kind of making everything just too common. I kind of want to use like a personal experience of mine when it comes to like hatching stupidly rare pets. So last week I hatched a 1 in 50 billion top hat pet. I went to check the existing count and hundreds and hundreds exist, and that just shouldn't happen because like 1 in 50 billion, that is so rare, man. It kind of makes you realize like, oh, it's 1 in 50 billion, but it's not even that rare, man, like actually. So the solution I'm gonna offer for this one, definitely still offer ways to get like more luck or secret luck, for example, but make sure to keep cranking up the rarities of the secret pets and other rarities. This is gonna give the player a sense of progression. They're not gonna notice like necessarily more secret pets being hatched, but if they are putting more effort in, they're going to notice that compared to other players, they're hatching more secret pets than them. It's like a nice little reward system, really. We like rewards, guys. Please give me free secret pet. And moving on to the topic that we've all been waiting for in this category. Admin abuse. Specifically, admin abuse completely desensitizing any rarity that could be considered valuable in the game. Like I said before, there's just so many admin abuse secrets, and first of all, they've got no value. They make secret pets and even infinity pets just seem really common. And I think most importantly, when you actually go on to hatch a secret pet outside of admin abuse, since you've been exposed to all that like, oh, I've just hatched 200 secrets in an hour, it's not going to feel as special anymore. So in other words, it's contributing to hatching being more and more boring over time. But yet again, SpookyWoe has a solution. Admin abuse should not really contain any secret pets or infinity pets. Instead, you should make a new rarity for them. Keep the hatch animation, like that's cool. Keep them looking awesome in your inventory, that's fine. But give them a unique rarity like admin. Don't put the word secret, don't put the word infinity, just admin or anything else you can think of. That would work fine. Something important to mention, don't give it the same rewards as hatching an actual secret pet. It shouldn't contribute to secret milestones or titles or anything along those lines. Because as I've said before, they're just not rare. Another thing I'm going to add on is don't let them be usable in the rebirth machine. Maybe make a special rebirth machine for admin abuse, but don't let them be put in the secret pet machine because that is damaging them pets as well. And one more important suggestion, don't let people access Pro Trading Plaza just because they've hatched an admin abuse pet. Literally anybody can do that. So we have made it to the final point in this category. Well done, guys. You're doing very well. This point is one of my favorites because personally, when this happened in the game, it made me like actually frustrated. This problem is pretty much how there's some really good features being added like XL pets, but they just instantly get ruined unintentionally. Specifically, I'm talking about how XL pets were added and were extremely rare, 1 in 500 pets. But literally the same update, every single player in the entire game was given access to a normal secret XL pet. Literally 260,000 in the entire game. That is ridiculous. So the solution to this problem is why secret pets, especially the variants XL, shiny, shiny mythic, normal mythic, they should never be given out easily or via a purchase. Gang, we know you want money, everybody wants money, but you can literally make the same amount of money without causing this issue. So I'm going to go ahead and say straight away, this is damaging an important game mechanic. Instead of working hard to obtain a secret pet or a mythic secret or an XL secret, you can literally just buy them or obtain them for free. This is again contributing to desensitizing the idea of secrets and the value they hold. My best advice to fix this is change the secret rarity to exclusive. Continue giving an existing count, because these can hold as really good collector's items, and the same amount of people are going to buy them. Simple as. In fact, they probably won't even notice. They've got attention spans of like, I don't know, 6-year-olds. So that was section 1. I am pretty confident that if you make all of these changes, it will completely fix the issue. On to the next topic, geeks. So the second category is the non-existent rewards in blowing bubbles. I think everyone saw that coming, come on. So the first problem is the non-existent rewards involved with blowing bubbles and why it's an issue. That one's kind of obvious. As things stand, these players are literally doing the exact same thing every single day, not expecting a single difference in gameplay. Not really the best system considering that is literally the core like game mechanic. Bubble, gum simulator type thing, yeah. Another thing I want to add is if you take both leaderboards, so hatching and bubbling, you're going to notice that there's a lot more competition on the hatching side because more people are doing it. At the moment, hatching is definitely just the better feature. So in my infinite wisdom, I'm going to give a very cool solution. So bubbling should have a reward system to make it more exciting. This is something hatching clearly has, and bubbling just doesn't. To you little demons who are sitting there bubbling right now, I'm actually terrified of you. Not even joking. How do you just sit there and blow bubbles all day, man? I would go crazy. Anyway, the only reward system for bubbling right now is selling the coins. Not exactly the best. There's literally a coin cap, so you can't really get an advantage if you're blowing bubbles over hatching. And as I said before, this is meant to be the main game mechanic. The fact that bubbling has never seen much valuable content supporting it, it's such a missed opportunity. It's normally the hatches that get new content, not the bubblers. And it should definitely be added onto during events. Man, again, I can't imagine an update comes out and I'm still just bubbling. That sounds like torture. I'm going to give a little example. Bubblers could have a chance to obtain a pet every time they blow a bubble. A cool gimmick you could add is every time a player blows a bubble, they have a chance to get a pet, and the more bubbles you blow per click, the higher the odds to get that pet actually are. That is going to reward people who have put more effort into getting better teams. Imagine you blow a bubble and you get this visual on screen, like an egg, but it's a bubble. Giant bubble. Then the bubble pops and it reveals a pet. It could have all the same elements of hatching, have all the rarities, and have a chance to obtain variants as well. Shiny Mythic XL, all that jazz. This is going to give bubble players something to be excited about, rather than just doing the same thing every single time. I'm going to say it a third time, Alan Malt. There's someone else on podium, I don't remember who. You guys are, like, actually scary. Stay away from me. And now we move on to the second and final problem with blown bubbles. So bubble players actually face disadvantages compared to hatching players. Yeah, this definitely needs to be reversed, because when I say the main problem, I don't even know if you know about this, but you're gonna, like, probably slap yourself. So there's a buff in the hatching milestone that gives you 1 extra inventory slot, even though hatchers don't even need this. So this has literally caused bubblers to have to stop their grind to open millions of eggs. Just imagine, man, if +1 egg hatch got put into bubble milestone, imagine all the hatches just going crazy. Definitely not a good idea, gang. So the solution I'm going to offer here is just simply reverse it and don't make the same mistakes again. Yeah, I've finished the hatch milestone. If you want to take the inventory slot off me, I don't really care, man. And just like that, we've finished another category. Good job, guys. So the next category is the lack or fear of unique content. So the first problem is going to be the repetitive aspects of certain updates and what causes it. I'm just going to go ahead and say straight away, this doesn't mean that I'm saying you're putting no effort into the game. You clearly are. But the problem is you're using the same game loop over and over again. And the solution to this is straight up just don't copy and paste the same features and new updates. Again, I'm going to mention, I'm not saying that you don't put loads of effort into the game, because you clearly do. But copy and pasting the same features every time, it's not adding as much to the game as it could. I'm going to say it a third time, holy, there's like an echo in here or something. A lot of effort is being put into something that doesn't make a huge difference, straight up. And we're definitely going to add to this with the next solution. So, problem 2, the fear of experimentation. Oh, that's a big word. Experimentation. Ooh la la. I personally feel like Nert and the entire Rumble Studios team is scared of experimentation for one reason. Pretty much because of all the 12-year-olds. Please, can we have more pets and admin abuse, guys? What I'm trying to say is Rumble is scared of backlash, which is understandable. The game gets so much hate. Definitely can't be a nice thing to go through. All the genuine haters, we don't claim them, guys. Come on, we're better than that. And the solution to this problem, one of my favorites in the entire video. Rumble Studios should step outside their comfort zone and experiment with new features. Simple as. Straight up, just change things up, man. Experiment with new features, ignore the possibility of backlash. Not every feature is going to be loved, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be avoided. We as the players want to see unique content that we can play and discuss. And I just want to add, you have proven so many times that you can do this very well. Super legendaries, guys. That is literally just the hatching leaderboard, by the way. Some of the trades for hatching super legendaries are so funny, man. I should be locked up for destroying the values. But it was fun. But yeah, these unique features could be literally anything. Simple, complex, satire, serious, anything. We want the satire ones. They're funny. 6-7 God, guys. Buy the 6-7 God for 10 billion Robux. But what I'm trying to say as a whole is, it doesn't matter, even if the idea fails. There's always options to improve it in the future. This is an important thing. Don't have the fear of trying new things in your own game because of children. Straight up just ban them from your Discord server, man. No one likes them. And we have reached the end of yet another category. Okay, so the next category is the lack of communication with content creators and competitive players. Now, I do want to point out this one seems a little bit weird, but once we get into the main problems, it's going to get a lot more understandable. I'm not just pointing it out because I fall into this very niche problem. I am going to mention myself 1 or 2 times in this segment, but it's mostly focusing on the entire group of competitive and content creators as a whole. And I think my experiences with these problems are definitely a really good insight into what everybody else is feeling. So into the first problem, Rumble Studios doesn't really acknowledge content creators and competitive players, and this is a bad thing. If you think of it this way, content creators are making videos on your game, pretty much promoting it for free. These videos literally hold the player base together and also introduce new people to the game. And on the other hand, with competitive players, these people have spent more time on your game than anyone else has. Quite literally, they know this game better than you do. Apart from me, because my memory is like that of a 90-year-old. And this is another simple solution: just reach out and communicate with the content creators and the competitive players. These players are literally your biggest supporters without a doubt. Content creators promote and hype the game, and the competitive players push the game to the absolute limit to the best of their ability. There's some absolutely amazing players who have put so much effort and time into the game, but the developers show no interest in communicating with them. Again, these players have the best knowledge of this game available out of literally thousands of people I'm going to add. They can offer you a lot of support and insight, and that is really valuable. Pretty much just free playtesters at this point, GG. And moving to the next problem, Rumble Studios doesn't celebrate milestones with content creators and competitive players. In other words, if average players are seeing these milestones not rewarded or acknowledged, they're not going to go for it themselves. There's so many players that put crazy amount of effort into this game, and some of the milestones are just outright crazy. It could make for some really cool events and collabs, content, anything like that. And the solution is simply encourage and celebrate milestones. It's going to motivate more players to try harder in the game. There's some absolutely incredible milestones that have been completely ignored by the developers. Some examples, I'm going to name some names, gang. Mr. Allen has 2 accounts very high up on both Hatchin and Bubbling leaderboard. That is wild. My guy is literally maintaining 2 accounts on leaderboard. That is crazy work. Now this next part is going to include me, gang. Don't be angry, please. Don't hate me. But yeah, me and Brock have been the first in the world to hit countless hatching milestones. 100 million hatches, 200 million hatches, 300 million hatches, and now 320 million hatches. In all fairness, no one really cares about my hatching milestones. They just join the streams to steal all my stuff. Valid, to be honest. Moving on, Malt has almost 1 quadrillion bubbles blown. Absolutely wild. CH2 hatched the first shiny mythic infinity pet ever. Again, crazy. Mr. Top F hatched the first shiny mythic XL secret pet. Another crazy one. Rarest pet ever hatched in the entire game. And traders like Radix, Scooby and Zillionaire have the most insane inventory seen on the game ever. That is all just wild to me. And quite honestly, I think everyone agrees it should be celebrated, encouraged, promoted, everything. Even if a Rumble Studios developer just makes a small announcement congratulating the players, just make them seen. And moving on to the final problem in this category, Rumble Studios doesn't collaborate with content creators or competitive players. Include content creators and competitive players in events, straight up. As I said before, these players have done an amazing service to the game. They should have a spotlight. Host events with them, stream with them, let them co-host admin abuse, I don't know, man. Just do anything other than ignoring them. And the reason I'm mentioning all this is because people would love to see it, they'd be more entertained by it. It helps both the developers and the players. It's just a win all around. I do also want to point out something pretty interesting. If you are making content and making these content creators, for example, more known and more out there, they're going to get more subscribers in turn. They're going to get more views on YouTube, promoting your game even more. Anyway, I'm going to stop tooting my own horn. I use like fly scripts or something, I don't know. And gang, we have officially made it to the last category. Well done. This problem is the lack of playtesting. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the first problem. Leaving bugs in the game can genuinely damage the game. Also, if you join the same server from a different device, you get stuck on the loading screen, and this has literally been in the game since release. And the solution is very simple, just tackle the bug fixes as soon as you can. This is straight away going to prevent players being annoyed and irritated or whatever. Just spend a small amount of time the day after the update maybe, just take some time to tackle bug fixes, man. The vast majority of bugs are easy to fix, straight up. Something I will say though is don't close down the servers for minor bug fixes. Just straight up eliminate them. That's pretty much it for that point. Moving on to problem number 2. The severe disadvantage for mobile players compared to PC players. For example, there's broken UI, lack of options for R macro, and issues with auto rejoin. In all fairness, if you're playing on mobile, you're about 6. And this is once again a very easy fix, just eliminate the playing ground between platforms. Slowly patch UI bugs and implement features that allow similar experience across all platforms. I will also add, because this is important, a huge portion of players play on mobile. If they are given disadvantages, they will be demotivated to play further. Just keep that in mind, bro. You don't want all the kids to run away. Moving on to problem number 3, the lack of options to report a bug, and the fact that there is no rewards for doing so. So I will just take my personal experience here. I've tried to report bugs so many times, and I just don't even know how it works, man. I get told to go to like Rumble Modmail on the Discord server, but they normally just don't even reply. It's not an efficient system. And again, another very simple solution, create a system that allows users to easily report bugs with in-game rewards. In my opinion, there should be custom pets given out to players who report bugs that result in a patch. These people are taking the time out of their day to help fix an issue with your game. If your playtesters can't find every single bug, you rely on the players to find it. And this is a very good opportunity to reward players for doing you a service. Yeah, I've reported about 20 bugs now, so please free secret pet Nert. And on to the final problem of the entire video. When a new player joins, they're too far behind on features like milestones to justify playing further. If I just started Bubblegum Simulator today and I saw you had to play for like hundreds of days just to complete the playtime milestone, I would probably not play for very much longer. And onto the final solution, overhaul the milestone feature specifically to be more new player friendly. So what I would suggest is nerf the requirements of the older milestone players to allow new players to catch up easily. Keep the new milestone tiers, like the Omega one that's just been added, difficult to finish. This allows new players to fly through the milestones below pretty quickly. This also gives players who have put more effort and time into the game a small advantage with buffs. Once most players have hit the highest milestone, add new ones and nerf the old ones' requirements. Straight up. And that, gang, is about every major issue I could find with BGSI. I do want to say again a huge thank you to everybody who helped me with this video. There was literally hundreds of people, which is just wild, man. I do want to point out that I've rolled the winners for the shiny mythic secret pets from the polls. I will message you on Discord and your names will be on screen right now. Please just support the developers in this. This is not going to happen in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It might take like months, but just support the developers because they're putting a lot of effort into the game. And that's pretty much it, gang. You all smell, by the way.
Hello, Nert. Currently outside right now, and I think honestly, you should host the 2x luck event for BGSI. The reason why is because, one, it is almost Thursday. Well, it is Thursday as of the time we're recording this, but it's almost the weekend. People want the 2x luck. Second reason, super legendaries. People want super legendaries. So let's add 2x luck so people can hatch them. Go BGSI.